Hey there, my friends. Hank here, and today we're going to be checking out a new line of figures from a company called H3 Models out of South Korea. These guys were founded in 2019, and apparently they use 3D scans of real people suited up in full uniform to create these super accurate 3D printed resin figures. So I had to pick one of these up and give it a go. Not a sponsored review here, I was just curious, so let's check this out together. I went with this US paratrooper firing an M1 Garand. One of the biggest complaints I hear from folks about the state of the 1/35th scale figure market at the moment is that not enough figures come in combat positions, and it seems like H3 is trying to fill that gap, which is great. Now, if we pop the box open here, we're greeted by all of our parts in a little baggie. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't know too much about 3D printing technology, but my understanding is that you've got to have the program add these little support struts to a print to secure the actual item you're creating. And as we can see here, our figure and all his accessories are still attached to these printing struts. I will say, super impressed with the detail here right off the bat. The way the clothing falls, the detail of the ammo belt, the musette bag, all very nice, printed in this soft gray resin. Our M1 here comes with the hands attached on a separate print, and I'm amazed by how well the receiver is captured. This is really cool stuff. And then finally, we've got our arms, our head, our helmet, and some other accessories on this third little printing block. Now, let's go ahead and start popping these parts off and try to assemble our figure here. I'm using my sprue snippers to hack away at these struts. The struts themselves are super soft and break very easily, but I'm not worried about damaging the figure. He's actually pretty sturdy compared to the supports, so that's a relief. And once our main body here is free, we can just go around and scrape off any remaining contact points. These do come off very easily with a sharp hobby knife. And there we go, our main body piece is free. Now let's start on our M1. Similar approach here, let's just break off some of these big sections. And at this point I noticed that the sling to our M1 is actually molded in here, which is insane. But of course I accidentally broke that in the freeing process. No harm, no foul, we can reattach that later. Beautiful M1 Garand, quite happy with this, wow. Alright, now let's start popping these accessories and stuff off. We're going to start with our head. Ton of detail in this face here, very strong features. I'll go ahead and remove the rest of these small accessories from the block off camera here, and then we're going to start assembling this fella. Okay, so we'll start with our head here. I'm going to fully build this guy up just to demonstrate for you all, but honestly, I'd usually leave the head off and paint it separately. It would make that piece a little easier to get at. We can put a little dab of super glue on here, and boom, we've got a head. Next, let's get our arms on here. There are some really nice guide blocks and holes sculpted right into the figure to ensure that these pieces fit into place properly, though I will say there's a little bit of a gap despite my best efforts to align this perfectly. Nothing a little putty can't fix though. And once we've got our arms attached, we can slip our M1 and the hands right into place. Super clean fit there. And now we can go around and drop the rest of our equipment into place. The bayonet here is a very nice touch, a lot of detail for a very delicate little part. And our M1 helmet with the netting fits nicely right onto our head. This really is a beautiful little figure. And I appreciate that H3 also gives us that iconic first aid pouch that US paras sometimes lash to their helmets up on there. And here I went ahead and fixed our rifle sling off camera. Now this nearly killed me. This thing was so delicate, so my advice would be don't break it in the first place like I did. Go slow when you're removing these parts from the printing blocks. And there you have it, my friends. This is an incredible little figure. I am blown away by the detail. We'll definitely be picking up more of these. A world of diorama possibilities here. I picked up this example from Military Miniatures Warehouse here in the States, but it does look like H3 ships directly from their own site, so I'll drop a link to both of those down in the description below. I was also very pleased to see that even more offerings have come out from H3 since I picked up this particular figure, and quite frankly, I want all of them. I'll have to practice a little restraint here. I will also say these figures do run you about $20 a piece, which is more or less on par with what you'd be paying for a traditional resin figure, so do keep that in mind. And of course, my friends, we've got to paint this little fella up, so stay tuned. We'll break out the paints in our next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on new scale modeling videos each and every week. And until next time, my friends, be well, happy building, cheers.